wants to step into the pocket. Do you have what it takes? And now, the Pocket Presents Podcast, presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar and PILBROIII Inc.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pocket Presents Podcast. I'm your host, Untitled Chapter, alongside my co-host, Nick Saps.
What's going on, everybody?
We got another edition for you guys today. Another unbelievable edition. Week 13 is in the books. Hope everyone made the playoffs, and we hope you had a fantastic week. For others, we know it's been difficult for sure.
Especially this season.
Yeah, adjusting lineups. I know a lot of teams that I've had very close, and week 13 mattered a lot. Nick, I'm very grateful. 4 out of 4 of my teams made the playoffs. That's a blessing. I can't believe it. But before we get into that, we'd like to thank our sponsors, FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Check them out, guys. They got 2 locations, one at Kiel and Major Mac, and one at Pine Valley and Highway 7. For the freshest of the freshest needs, you go to Mike. He's got some Christmas stuff going on there. And boy, oh boy, for the holidays, you're going to need a cleansing and a half. So you might as well get started while you can. Check out FRESHOUSE. And, of course, PILBROIII Carpentry. Check them out, guys. The Pileggi family has been in the carpentry business for all your carpentry needs for over 30 years. Go to Tony. They build homes and not houses. And, Nick, it's been a hell of a week. What was your main takeaway here? I know I got mine.
My main takeaway is, it's probably weird, Bengals fan coming at you from, which way? Heinz Field. But there's a reason for that. My big takeaway, the Fraudsburg Steelers lost, and I got my F the Steelers shirt on. I got it on, F the Steelers. I hate them. We do polls every week, and for what week are we in? We're 13 straight weeks.
Yeah.
13 straight weeks I've been betting against them. Didn't matter if they're playing the Bengals, the Giants, the Broncos, it doesn't matter. They make me sick. I can't stand them. And I'm so excited that they have a 1 beside their name in the loss column. Hopefully 2 with their Sunday night matchup against the Bills. And I'm also reporting at you from Heinz Field because I dream of the day that I can wear this shirt in Heinz Field. I want all the smoke from the Steelers fans. And,
God.
They make me sick. And yeah, that's my main takeaway. We love you, football team. We love you.
Logan Thomas did have a big game in that one. We'll get into that later. But for me, it's where I'm from, the Hard Rock Stadium, Nick. My Dolphins, obviously.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that game, to be honest.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I could bring it too because we had a little bit of a scuffle, eh? I think both of our energies just went onto the field because both of our teams started fighting each other, Nick.
Yeah, and you know what? You're the one with the more positive energy. So, hey.
Well,
no surprise.
I try.
No surprise that, But, listen, I think the first ejections between, who was it, Tyler Boyd and Xavier Howard, that was Bush League. There was nothing thrown. There were no punches thrown from Xavier Howard or Tyler Boyd. And this Bengals offense without Burrow, and then you throw in an ejection to Tyler Boyd, and
that's crazy.
The second half was absolutely embarrassing to watch.
It took forever to unfold.
Yeah,
and that ref, he somehow memorized everything.
Yeah, he did. But you know what? At the same time, the refs are to blame for this because if they had control of the game in the first place, none of this stuff happens. So
no, exactly.
It is what it is. But are you thirsty?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Nick. I'm pretty thirsty right now. We're going to get right into this.
All this talking has me a little thirsty, too.
Exactly. But here we go, guys. Week 13 scores presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Woo. That was delicious.
Tasty. Yeah, that was tasty.
That was delicious. All right, here we go. Week 13, Sunday games because there was no Thursday game. Saints and Falcons, Nick. This was an absolute crazy game here. Taysom Hill does it again, eh? He does it again. Another rushing touchdown. Saints take it 21-16. Nick, Cleveland Browns, Tennessee Titans. Baker Mayfield, unbelievable game here.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know many people that saw this one coming. He lit them up. Four touchdown passes in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this score wasn't as close as it actually was this game. Browns take it 41-35. Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, Nick. Back and forth this one.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford and Trubisky just going at it completely. David Montgomery is finally back and relevant. He might help people down the stretch for sure. The Lions just give up a ton of rushing yards. It's absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Lions take it 34-30. Nick, I'm not going to be quick with this one. Cincinnati Bengals, Miami Dolphins. Nick, unbelievable game here. The Bengals looked like they were going to win. I mean, they had a phenomenal first half in this one, but then, you know, a bunch of unnecessary stuff in the second half with the fighting and this and that. So many key players gone in the game. Tua throws it to Mike Gesicki. He had a phenomenal game in this one. Dolphins take it 19-7. Jacksonville Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings. Nick, we almost saw a huge upset in this one. Too bad it didn't happen. But, you know, the Jags were very, very competitive with
They
Mike
fight hard.
Glennon.
They fight hard.
Exactly. On defense and offense. Too bad, you know, Mike Glennon, he had the possession there. He gave up an interception at the end in overtime to Harrison Smith. Vikings came down the field, kicked the field goal. Dalvin Cook is obviously Dalvin Cook. Vikings take it in overtime, 27-24. Nick, this was another great game. Colts and Texans, Nick, back and forth.
Terrible way for Houston to lose. Just terrible.
I was just about to say, unbelievable. Yeah. Deshaun Watson at the end. You look like Houston's going to get that go-ahead touchdown. Go-ahead extra point with the touchdown. And they fumble it. Unbelievable turn of events. I feel so bad for Watson. The guy's playing out of his mind these days.
So do I.
And it's just such a bad break. Colts get a huge win. Huge win in the AFC South there. Colts take it 26-20. Nick, I mean, where do I start with this game? Las Vegas Raiders, New York Jets. We have the pathetic New York Jets, and we have the Las Vegas Raiders who
are fighting for a playoff spot.
Literally should have probably lost this game.
Absolutely should have.
Darren Waller had a ridiculous game. Him and Derek Carr. If you guys had that combo in fantasy, it was an automatic win. 200 receiving yards for a tight end. Incredible game. And of course, with 5 seconds left, Henry Ruggs catches an all-out blitz, questionable decision there.
We can get into that later if we want.
Carr lofts it up for a 46-yard touchdown to Henry Ruggs. Unbelievable. Raiders take it right at the end, 31-28. Nick, let's go to the 4 o'clock games. We had a huge upset in this one. New York Giants, Seattle Seahawks. I guarantee you nobody saw this one coming. Russell Wilson is just not himself these days, running around for his life, really. Giants defense was absolutely incredible in this game.
Yep.
Wayne Gallman, another great game. And that's what happens when you run the football and you keep Russell Wilson off the field as much as possible. Chances are you're going to win the damn game. And that's what the Giants did. Giants take it 17-12. Nick, another NFC West showdown here between the LA Rams and Arizona Cardinals. Absolutely incredible game, back and forth for a bit. Rams defense just has that edge and that it factor because they just keep getting defensive touchdowns.
Yep.
My goodness. Rams take it 38-28. Nick, this was an absolute blowout here. The New England Patriots and LA Chargers. Justin Herbert, what the heck happened to you, buddy? Because Bill Belichick exposes rookie quarterbacks, man. My goodness.
Yes. There's not much to say other than the final score. So
yeah, Patriots take it 45-0. Nick, another Philadelphia Eagles performance here against the Green Bay Packers. This game
they looked better.
They looked a tiny because Jalen Hurts played a little bit.
Yep.
But and that's it. I mean, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers doing their thing. Aaron Jones had a crazy run in this one. Packers take it 30-16. They look great.
Yep.
Nick, Sunday nighter, Chiefs and Broncos. Nick, Denver played them very hard in this one. Very, very hard. Drew Lock had some promising moments in this one. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. The Denver defense did their thing, especially limiting the Chiefs to 22 points.
Absolutely. You can't punt against the Chiefs. Can't punt against them. Late in the game, Vic Fangio decides to punt and, pretty much said, hey, Mahomes, you can have this thing.
Yeah, basically. Chiefs take it 22-16. Nick, I know you're really excited for this one. You want to call this one the Monday night, the early one?
I don't want to call it, but Alex Smith, 2020 Comeback Player of the Year. No ifs, ands, or buts. The stuff that he's been through, both on and off the field, 17 surgeries, almost lost his leg, almost lost his life with all the complications in his surgery. And, for them to come out and beat an undefeated team, and if I may say so, they deserved to win. It's not like it was a fluke.
No, that was
well-deserved. They dominated. Alex Smith had a great game. Logan Thomas had a great game. Cam Sims had a great game. And, the Washington defense, that front four is fantastic. And I can't remember the final score right now.
I got it. The football team takes it 23-17. Nick, moving on to the later Monday game between the Bills and the 49ers. Josh Allen lit this team up. I think
that was Josh Allen's best game as a pro.
Yeah, he came back home to California, and my goodness, he was absolutely flawless. Mm-hmm. The Bills are really hard to beat with that guy, I'll tell you that. Bills take it 34-24. And of course, another Tuesday night football, baby, between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson doing his thing in this one, as everyone expects, because the Cowboys just cannot stop the run, as evident in this game. Ravens take it 34-17. And that is the Week 13 scores presented by Fresh House Juice Bar.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, Nick. I wanted to let's continue more about the football team here.
Mm-hmm.
A massive win, massive win. So now we have the football team and the Giants. Looks like competing for this one. Who do you see stands out here? Because they both had two massive wins here that nobody expected.
Yep, and I want to talk about the Giants first off, because I think I've talked about enough about the football team. Beating Fraudsburg, which is fantastic for the whole entire league. But yeah, you know what? I want to talk about the Giants and first-year head coach Joe Judge, and let's not forget, played with a backup quarterback in Colt McCoy.
Incredible.
And they beat Seattle. And Seattle looked terrible for most of that game. And they looked like they really did underestimate their opponent. And, I want to give a lot of credit to the Giants because, there are other teams playing with backup quarterbacks and injuries, cough, Cincinnati. And, everyone's making excuses for Cincinnati, and it's garbage because you got to win with what you have. Mm-hmm. And Joe Judge did that, and they play hard for him, and the defense looks phenomenal. And then, moving on to the football team, they got the number 1 ranked pass defense, and that's largely in part to the front four, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Chase Young, all generating pressure on the quarterback, forcing them into ill-advised throws. And they've played twice already, the football team and the Giants, which kind of sucks because it doesn't really set up for it's not like
a showdown.
Yeah, it's not like there's going to be a third football team versus Giants game, winner clinch division.
Right.
Whoever wins this division is going to be the team with the easiest schedule. And off the top of my head, I don't know who it is. But I want to say the Giants take this division even after this run that the football team's going on, strictly because if they finish with the same record, the Giants got the breaker on Washington. So that's why I still continue to tend to like the Giants. How about you?
Yeah. Well, I got to disagree with you, Nick. I got the football team here. And I think we're in the making of not even the comeback player of the year, but I'm going to be bold here. I think the football team wins a playoff game. Yeah, you heard me right.
Hey, if they make it, I would not be surprised.
It's going to happen, Nick. It's going to happen. I mean, what I just saw against Pittsburgh and what Ron Rivera has got to his men, You could see it. You could see it in their eyes.
Absolutely.
You could see it every snap. They want it. Obviously, they had a huge loss in Antonio Gibson that game, but that didn't even phase them, Nick.
No,
it didn't even phase them.
Next man up.
J.D. McKissick comes in. He catches 10 balls, and there you go. And there you go. You know, this team just does not know how to quit, and that's why, you know, you can't underestimate this team at all. You just can't.
And even Terry McLaurin didn't really have his best game, and you saw Cam Sims stepped it up, Logan Thomas stepped it up.
That's right.
J.D. McKissick, as you mentioned, caught 10 passes. They got a lot of fantasy relevant players.
That's right. It should be interesting. You got to use them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get it. And we'll get into our starts and sits later. By the way.
Yeah, and I want to be bold too. I mean, we don't really do starts and sits for defense, but listen, the football team is out there. I would start them this week. Nick Mullins and the Niners are, you know, they turned it over quite a few times, and you know, why not?
The sacks will be there. The sacks will be there for sure.
The sacks are going to be there, and you got to bank on a defensive touchdown. And with the way the football team's been playing and forcing all those ill-advised throws, I'm sure they can bait Nick Mullins into a pick six. So I like them a lot. For sure.
We'll definitely get into that, Nick. I wanted to get into as well my Dolphins and the Bills here. We're getting into now the stretch where in the AFC East, where it's getting pretty close in this division. Miami gets obviously a win over your Bengals. The Bills get another win over the 49ers, And now we're heading into week 14. Tougher matchups for both teams. Obviously, Miami, we're going up against Mahomes here. Not going to be easy. I'm still going to root for my Dolphins and cheer as much as I can, but it's going to be very tough. Do you see Buffalo having a shot against Pittsburgh this week?
If Pittsburgh, like I said, if Pittsburgh continues to play like they have, Buffalo could absolutely beat them. But I think best case scenario for Miami would be for both teams to lose, because Miami would still be one game back. And I think all things considered, that would be fantastic. If Miami wins, then it's one of the upsets of the year for sure. But they're going up against Mahomes, and
I just don't think. Honestly,
that's a monstrous challenge for
that team. I mean, it is in the Hard Rock, so
yep. And you know what? They have responded well. Tua's first start, they beat the Rams, which is a fantastic victory, and then they beat the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. But yeah, you know what? If Miami can keep this close, I mean, hey, any given Sunday.
That's true.
But I still think the best thing for Miami would be if Buffalo loses, and if Miami loses, so be it. I mean, Miami and Buffalo are going to play each other once more, and that game's shaping up to be really, really big for both teams.
Week 17, baby. Week 17. It's going to be cold in Buffalo for sure.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That should be interesting. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I've been looking at the data analytics that I see, and I noticed Miami's not giving too many points up to quarterbacks. So we'll see if that trend continues. Nick, I got to ask you too. Who do you think's a better start this week for playoffs? Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the numbers that he's putting up have been absolutely sensational, and it doesn't matter if they're up 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. He's still slinging it. He's still getting you. He's still racking you up those points. Maybe last year I would have said Mahomes, because that Miami defense was
pathetic.
Wasn't as good. But the Chiefs have shown that when they're up, they do have a tendency to run the ball a fair few times with Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Le'Veon Bell. But yeah, I mean, you're obviously going to start both of them. I just think that Rodgers is going to put up a few more points than Mahomes this week.
I think this game between Miami and the Chiefs, it could get interesting more if Fitzpatrick starts. Because I think he can keep up with Mahomes, obviously a lot better than Tua can. But I'm going to have to agree with you as well. I got to go Aaron Rodgers here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Matthew Stafford has enough firepower to keep up with the Packers here. Especially, we'll see what happens with Kenny Golladay. I don't know that situation yet, but DeAndre Swift hopefully comes back. This could be a shootout of a game. We got between the Packers and the Lions.
It could be.
I believe it is in Detroit, so that it's in a dome.
I got the matchup in front of me. Where is it?
Yeah, it's in Detroit.
Yep, it is. Packers.
It's in Detroit. Should be a hell of a football game. But Nick, let's get into now our starts and sits.
Our actual starts and sits. Yeah, you're going to do the starts. I'm going to do the sits, and obviously we're going to start from quarterbacks.
So I'm going to start with the quarterbacks, Nick. I'm going with Phillip Rivers. That's right, Phillip Rivers. I know everyone's got all their other higher QBs, but if you guys want a beautiful start against the Las Vegas Raiders, Phillip Rivers is going to have a phenomenal game here. He's got a ton of weapons at his disposal. T.Y. Hilton is now relevant. Don't sleep on Michael Pittman either. And of course, those two RBs and Taylor and Hines, that 1-2 punch that the Colts have. I love Phillip Rivers, and he thrives in these types of environments.
Sweet.
Who you sitting, Nick?
For sitting, very similar to – so pretty much the opposite of Phillip Rivers. I'm sitting Derek Carr because Indy has a phenomenal defense. I believe they're a top 5 passing defense. And that's why I'm sitting Derek Carr, obviously. And another one, strictly because the pass defense is phenomenal, is going to be Kirk Cousins against the Bucs. I don't like any of those guys, and I would stay away, especially that the playoffs are starting. You want to be able to stream the best matchups. And you know what? I mean, hey, like you mentioned, Phillip Rivers is definitely probably still on the waiver wire. So go grab a guy like him.
And that's what it is too, right? Like we don't want to pick guys that everybody has, because then there's no relevance to it, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, where I get the value from and where I could bring you guys value is you could literally get a guy right off the waiver wire, start him with confidence, and he'll get you some points, right? So with last week, I called 3 of my 4 positions had 20 points, guys. 20 points for you guys. That's 60 points in total. We had Cousins, we had Gesicki, and we had Marvin Jones, who a lot of people wanted to sit. But I said, no, we're going to start that guy, and we did. So let's move on to the running backs now for Week 14. Nick, if you guys are in a PPR league, you're going to love this one. J.D. McKissick, guys. J.D. McKissick, he is the PPR machine monster, especially if Antonio Gibson, who is currently doubtful right now. If he doesn't play, J.D. McKissick is a must start, and especially in PPR. I even argue he might even get a touchdown this one, but I'm going to project him for about 9 to 10 catches again, another 80 yards, and then maybe like 7 carries for like 40 yards and a touchdown. So
that's
20
phenomenal.
fantasy points, 20 fantasy points I see out of this one in McKissick. I just even when I saw it with the Bills game with Devin Singletary and the way they used him in that game against the Niners, if they continue with that trend with McKissick, you'll see the same numbers, guys. You'll see the same numbers.
And vice versa. So for sits, it's been a mess of a backfield all season, and it's going to be Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. You're going to just plaster those guys at the bench. The Steelers have a phenomenal rushing defense. They're number 1 in the league. Fairly obvious here. Sit them.
Nick, it's tough to disagree with you on that one. For wide receivers, we're going to go a little bit off the grain here. If you didn't start him last week, well, you're going to want to start him this week. I got to go Kiki QT, baby. Especially with Will Fuller gone, Deshaun Watson, he needs some weapons. And boy, does Kiki QT have an opportunity of a lifetime here against the Chicago Bears, who have looked awful lately on defense. I mean, Watson could easily tear these guys apart. It doesn't matter where he is. Really, he just shows up to play every week, Deshaun Watson. Texans are going to play hard in this one. I know they are. And they're not going to be able to run the ball well, I don't think, as well. So with David Johnson and Duke Johnson, that combination, I would not trust any of those running backs heading into a playoff week. So, but Kiki QT, guys, I think he's going to have a great game for you guys.
So for my sit, It's on the Monday Night Football game between the Ravens and the Browns, and it's going to be Jarvis Landry. Baker Mayfield historically struggles against the Ravens, and even if he doesn't, they're a run-heavy team. So I don't like the amount of volume that Landry would potentially get. So I'm going to sit Jarvis Landry, even though he had a great week last week.
I mean, Nick, we'll see with game flow too, right? That's another big thing with fantasy, guys. You need to look at the game flow. If you think the Ravens are going to take the lead early in this one, Baker Mayfield, he could get you those 15 fantasy points maybe, or 20, right? It depends on the game flow, right? If they're behind, all those fantasy points matter, right? Which is possible in that game, but, it might be closer than a lot of people think. Cleveland's a lot better team, and they can stop the run, and they have so. I mean, look at Derrick Henry. The guy did absolutely nothing against them. So,
sorry, Doctor, just going to get my phone charger. Phone's running low.
No problem. But anyways, I'm going to start with my tight ends now. Nick, I got to pick on your Bengals here. We're going to pick on your Bengals, and that's what they've been doing with the tight ends. They've been giving up so many points to tight ends, guys.
Yep.
I hope you guys know this, and that's what I did last week. I picked on them with Gesicki. I'm going to go Dalton to Dalton here. Dalton Schultz. That's right, guys. Dalton Schultz is in for a big game here against the Bengals, and I mean it's straightforward, really straightforward. You probably might even sneak in a touchdown out of him, but I think with the catches and the yards that I've been seeing with that connection that's slowly building up, I really like Dalton Schultz in this one.
Yep. For sits, I don't know. Last week, my 2 sits each got touchdowns by fluke. So I'll let you pick the sit. I mean, I don't.
For tight ends?
Yeah,
Wow,
you can go with the sit because I said Higbee last week and he got a touchdown.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Kyle Rudolph.
Fair.
I'm gonna go Kyle Rudolph. He's a weird player, right? It's like he either gets a touchdown or what, but I just don't think he does anything really in this game. Especially with the Bucs linebackers, they could easily cover that guy. Devin White, Levante David, those are 2 studs. I think Minnesota's going to have all kinds of problems in this game. I really like the Bucs in this one. We'll see if Chris Godwin comes in healthy. That obviously makes a big difference in that game. And Eric Kendricks as well. But, for me, it's Kyle Rudolph. He's just not having that same connection as he was earlier in the season with Kirk Cousins.
True.
So, yeah.
I mean, hard to argue with that logic.
Yeah, anyways, guys, that's it for us. Stay tuned for more episodes. Good luck again. This is the playoffs.
Yep. Best
Everything
of luck
counts.
to you guys.
Best of luck to you guys. Hopefully you guys move on and we get to talk about week 15 for you guys, but enjoy week 14. That's it for us. Thank you to our sponsors again, Fresh House Juice Bar and PILBROIII Carpentry. Support small business during these times, guys, especially with COVID. Very tough. That's it for us. On Instagram, check us out at the Pocket Presence Pod. We had a beautiful interview with Drew Brees. We want to thank Drew again for doing that interview and answering our questions.
And all the proceeds went to his Brees Dream Foundation.
Exactly.
So it was a good cause.
Yep. Very good cause. And Drew Brees is a phenomenal human being on and off the field. Yep. And a future Hall of Famer for sure. Hopefully he gets to see some action again during the season. I think he should be healthy enough. So we'll see what happens there. And, of course, check us out on YouTube at the Pocket Presence Podcast for all our podcasts just like this one. Stay tuned, guys. Have a good one.
See you guys.